Guys, Rober here, and I know you're thinking, hey, this isn't Armored Core 6, but don't worry, AC6 is still my main game. I've just been having a ton of fun on this game, and I wanted to share some strategy with you guys, so you can play difficulty level 7, probably higher, but I tested it on 7 and it works super easy. But you can play this on difficulty 7, and so you can collect super samples, and you can level up super fast, and you can do this as early as level 5, like character level 5. No shit. So here's the setup. First thing you're gonna have is you're gonna go get the recoilless rifle, which you can get at level 5. This thing is insane. People sleep on this thing because the railgun is good, but people really don't understand how good the recoilless rifle is. There's a reason in this little demo video they're taking out a charger with it. It's that good. The next thing you're gonna take is you're going to take the where is it? Eagle Airstrike right here. So the recoilless is at level 5. This is at level 2. And then the last thing you need is the orbital precision strike, which you just get at the beginning of the game. With those 3 things, that's all your stratagems. Your 4th slot is free. The only thing is you can't run a backpack. You need to use the recoilless rifle backpack. Obviously, once you level up and hit 20, you can just run railgun. But this is a low level guide. So orb strike, fucking eagle airstrike, and recoilless, and then your 4th slot is a freebie. So you can bring, I don't know, another airstrike, a barrage maybe. I would recommend bringing the cluster bomb. It's really good for clearing out a bunch of little guys. Not so much as good at taking out the factories, but it's good if you're getting swarmed. Or smoke is always good. Smoke would actually be really good with this build because we're trying to be sneaky. But yeah, man, you just need the recoilless, the orb precision strike, and the Eagle Airstrike. And then for the weapons and equipment, man, I tried to keep it super budget friendly. So the only things in the video I ran is this stealth suit, which is on the first page of the War Bond that you get for free. The auto pistol, because the auto pistol's insane. And then I did run the Hellpod space optimization. You could totally do without this though. You don't need this. If you don't have this or you don't want to spend the medals, it's okay. As for options for what you could run, I ran the Liberator because I think the Liberator's fine. But if you can swing it, the Defender is probably a little better. And if you really can swing it, on page 4, the Breaker is the best gun in the game. But like I said, the Liberator is fine. I used it in the video and it was completely okay. But this stealth suit's kind of a requirement because we are trying to be sneaky, and it gives you a just flat 30% stealth buff and radar ping, which is really good because we're using our map a bunch. We're kind of playing it almost like you play MGS1, where you're just watching the map and being really sneaky. And then as for the rest of the cosmetics, the helmet and cape and such, it doesn't matter. And if you can, I would just run the standard high explosive. I think the frags kind of suck because they have a 2.4 second fuse time, and impacts are really hard to hit the factory hatches with. So I just run regular high explosive. And then the auto pistol, like I said, crazy. And then Liberator's fine. But for the besides the stealth suit, which you need, helmet and cape literally don't matter. It's just drip, right? You can run anything. Really doesn't matter. I just have this setup because it matches, and I feel like I look like some kind of high speed like Star Wars guy, I guess. All right, so that's the basic setup for what you need. Let's kick into the video. Hope you guys enjoy. All right, so starting off, we're just gonna grab the 3 stratagems I told you guys to take with you, and we're gonna really look to not hot drop. Now, on lower difficulties, hot dropping is fun. If you have a 4-man, you can hot drop on a small outpost, but on difficulty 7 solo, you really cannot afford to hot drop. And then I take the expanded Hellpod optimization, but you really don't need it because you can just call it a supply drop when you spawn in, and by the time you need another supply drop, it'll be off cooldown. But I just took it because why not, right? But it's completely optional. The trick really here is just as soon as you land, get your gear orientation first to make sure you're safe, and then call in your recoilless. So I land here, I look around, and I realize it's safe, so I call in my recoilless. Now sometimes you get unlucky, like spawn in a jammer, or you spawn like in a big cluster of a bunch of enemies, and in that case you just book it and hightail it out of there. Don't even worry about the recoilless, don't call it, and just run. But here we're good. And then see, I'm using my map, and I'm just getting I'm trying to make a big loop around the map, really. And I want to clear myself a path, hopefully ending at the extraction.
I'm just gonna show you guys the first like half of this game, or really the first third, because it's long as hell. And you see, if I see anything on the map, I ping it so I can go address it later. But basically, the whole concept here is we're using our airstrikes, and see, I see the cannon tower too. We're using our airstrikes for the facilities. We're trying to avoid actually gunfighting as much as humanly possible. We're going to be really abusing the prone and crouch, looking at our map a bunch. And anytime we have to fight something, like in this game on the extract, when I had gotten all my tactical objectives and I had destroyed all the hives, there was a tank just camping the runway. I was like, man, this is a load of crap. So I used the recoilless to kill the tank. And like these cannon towers later in the game, way later, I don't even think I bother, but way later I end up blowing that thing up just so it wouldn't on the off chance fucking blow me up to pieces. So here we go, right? This is the first outpost. We come up, and we're just basically trying to observe and see where the guards are, where the facilities are, and if there's more than one facility. Because if there's only one facility and you don't really care about samples, you can kind of just huck your freaking airstrike and go, which is what we do here. But yeah, if there's like hulks and stuff in there or tanks, you can just blow up the facility and leave, man, because you'll see later, when you just run into the woods and go prone, they lose you. You can literally prone right past some of these guys. I think I Metal Gear Solid past a guard. If it's not in this part, it was in later in the game. But yeah, man, look, and it's back off. Facility goes up. And look, they've already lost me. And you see, I checked the map to verify, make sure they're not chasing me. And yeah, we're out of there. And then you just plot your next course and you go, and you just do that for all the hives and all the objectives. It is a little slower, but I did this game and I completed the entire thing, all the tacticals, all the hives. And I had 5%, I think, on the time remaining. I had 5% remaining, so it's totally doable. Now granted, I think I got a little lucky with how this map was laid out, with like how some of the factories were set up. So you may be running close to the time limit towards the end, but also you could be a lot more aggressive than I am, because I spend like half the game playing it like it's Metal Gear Solid. You don't have to be this crazy about it. I just really wanted to illustrate the point of how good stealth is in this game. So I literally crawl from that facility to this one. You don't have to do that. You can run. You'll get a feel by watching the map when it's okay to run, when you get a crouch, when you get a prone. But you know, there's times where I've been prone and the guards literally run right past me. I literally crawl past a machine gunner. If it's not in this clip, it's later in the game. But you know, like, just to show you guys the power of stealth, man, it's crazy. I literally crawl into this base and nobody sees me. See, I see the Hulk right there. I could take him out with the recoilless, but the problem is if I do the, yeah, right here, see, I crawl past the machine gunner. He has no clue. He alerts and makes a little noise, but he didn't aggro, and he didn't alert anybody. And this is under a scan tower too. These scan towers, they detect you and they summon bot drops, and I'm crawling through it like I'm Solid Snake. So this is how good stealth is in this game. We have the stealth suit and you crawl. This is why I'm Super Earth Special Forces, man. No normal Helldiver can do this. As I was saying, I could have fought the what's it called, the Hulk, with my recoilless, and it would have went down in anywhere from 2 to 5 shots. It feels inconsistent. Most of the time 3 does the trick. That's what I've noticed. But maybe I'm missing sometimes, or it's glancing off on armor. And you guys see there, my freaking Hellbomb got eaten by the terrain. I don't know where that went. But I just wiggle here and then I call it in again. And then I was curious. I wanted to see if the Hellbomb orb would cause aggro. It didn't, but the Hellbomb landing did, which kind of ruined my plan. I was gonna try and crawl up and activate it and then like crawl out. But they saw it and started shooting at it, so that plan kind of went by the wayside. So I was trying to think, I was thinking what to do. I was like, there goes that plan, but they don't see me yet. So I just decided to frag them, to not give away my position for shooting. Didn't end up working though, because the sword guys just ran up to me. You know, the guys to my left, yeah, right there. So I just back away. You don't have to be sneaky. Like here, I'm up and open and shooting, but then I'm priming the objective and then I'm just running and leaving as fast as possible. Right. The goal is to not stay in open combat for as long as you can. So I take some damage, broke my leg, whatever, stim pack up, and frickin' hustle on out of there. And then, lucky enough, they didn't destroy the hell bomb, or else I would have had to go back in there. So then look, yeah, you see I'm out of there. And then I'm back to prone, and they're none the wiser. And this works when they bot drop, too. As long as you're not running into the bot drop and you're watching your map. See, I'm looking at my map, seeing where all the dots are, plotting my next course. Right, so I'm just watching where they're moving, and then I'm just moving to avoid them. It really is like playing Metal Gear Solid 1, man. That's how you played MGS1. You just like watch the map the whole game and watch their vision cones. Now these guys don't have vision cones, but you know, you just, as long as you keep a certain distance away, and especially line of sight's huge, right? I don't know if darkness has an effect, but crouching certainly does, and proning certainly does. Smoke certainly does. There's a lot of ways you can make it harder for them to see you. And I know for a fact that the weather effects that make it harder for you to see make it harder for the bots to see too. Because I've had games where the weather gets really bad and the bots lose me way easier. So I don't know what all the parameters are for making it harder for you to see. See, like, yeah, they spotted me, but then I'm just going to prone out and I'm fine. Now, another thing is too, they will shoot just in your last known location. So if they saw you and they saw where you were, they'll keep shooting. So just because they're shooting at you doesn't mean they see you, right? So don't worry. You know, when in doubt, prone it out, and they'll probably lose you. Like they literally walk right by you. As long as they don't directly like look at you, you're okay. I've had bots literally run past me while I'm prone in the bushes. It's like that old like Vietnam War story, or like the more modern interpretation of it. You know, the Vietnam War story is like Carlos Hathcock, or maybe that was Korea. Oh, I'm a bad Marine, man. I don't remember if it was Vietnam or Korea. I think it was Vietnam. But you know, he like crawled like 3 days, and the Vietnamese literally walked right over him, and they didn't catch him. And like in Call of Duty 2, they had the same thing, you know, where it's like 5,000 people used to live here, and then you're like crawling in the ghillie suits, and the Russians walk over you. I've literally had that happen to me in this game, where the bots come. And then see the same thing here. See, I crawl up, I airstrike, and then I didn't quite hit everything I needed to hit, so I threw another one. And that wasn't it. I thought that airstrike, that little bird there had to blow up, so it clearly wasn't the case. So I decided to go hot for a second. Quickly realized that's a poor decision, so I decided to book it and reassess my strategy here and figure out what I'm missing. And then I see it's a factory, so I just throw another airstrike. Luckily it lands. I stim up. You can also like combat stim, right? If you're taking damage. I kill his guard. His guard is clueless, man. That guy needs to get fired. There's explosions and gunfights going off behind him. He's manning his post like, I'm not leaving my machine gun. But yeah, I just reassess, and then as you can see here, I just start. I'm clear. So that was just like a little taste of some Helldivers content from me, guys. I've also been thinking about editing in a different style too for these videos. Maybe doing like adding some music and like some montage type stuff. Let me know what you guys think. If you want more guides or if you want music videos, let me know down below. Thank you.